This is your captain speaking. At this time, I'm going to ask that you fasten your seatbelts.
Welcome back, dear viewers. Basil here, your trusty guide with Digital Acre Designs. This is episode 2 of our Mastering COURSEPLAY series. Today we will be jumping into learning how to set up and convoy our equipment in the fields using COURSEPLAY. Again, COURSEPLAY is solely PC-based, unfortunate for our console friends. If this is your first time here, please be sure to click on the card above to ensure you are caught up from the beginning of this series. Each episode will build on from the last, so please do be sure to review that video as well. Let's jump into a new game and dive in, shall we? My. It has been a while since we have been to Elm Creek. Oh, the fond memories of breaking first ground here. Now look at us. We get to help others learn the intricacies and joys of Farming Simulator 22 and the magic of mods, as well as the wonderful community that develops them for us to enjoy. These fields are a bit too small, so let's fly over yonder. Before we begin, let's jump into easy dev controls and set us this field appropriately. Ah, that's better. A lovely meadow ready to harvest. Time for some equipment. A mower, windrower and baler should do the trick. First step, cut the grass. Step 2, windrow the cut grass. Step 3, bale the windrowed grass. All of this will be done with COURSEPLAY. Amazing! Let's jump into our mower. Again, if you haven't checked out the first episode in this series where we go over all the options, overview COURSEPLAY and the features, and finally setting up a course, you will want to watch that video as these episodes build on from the previous. Our mower is at the field. We do have the ability to save courses, but that will be in a future episode. Our field 43 is selected. Multiple tools starts to come into play now. Currently, we only have one mower, so we will leave this at 1. However, you can adjust this number up to a max of 5 vehicles on a single course. So if we had 2 mowers on this field working together, we would select 2. We will select 2 headlands for this mower to complete, but there is a catch. Here, start work on. We want to select the center of field to start. This means the vehicle will start work on the center with the up and down rows. It will then move on to completing the headlands. We do this for a reason, as we are going to be doing some baling. We can leave the corners at sharp. Clockwise direction is fine. Let's do a 10% overlap on the headlands, meaning the 2 tracks will slightly overlap each other. We want to leave the field center as up and down. This is also important when doing baling. We want to make sure we skip 1 row. This will come into play when we start our workers. Everything else seems to be just peachy. Our first episode, we went through all of these settings. Last thing to do is hit Generate Fieldwork. And as you can see, the course has popped up here on the map. Make sure you are at first waypoint. And since we started in the center, let's drive over there. For the sake of this tutorial, we want to be on wide spreading because we are going to be windrowing this after. Many mowers allow for a swatch drop, and that will eliminate the windrow step if you so desire. Before setting your worker off, be sure to go through the vehicle settings. These settings are specific to each vehicle and must be set up accordingly. Now hit the play button and away we go. Something new here is this little copy button on the COURSEPLAY HUD. This will copy the current course if we click it. Now we have a copy of all the course waypoints and settings, only for the course, not the vehicle. Now that we have that course copied, we can pop into our tractor and hook up to the windrower. Now that we are in a new vehicle, you can see that copy icon lit up in green. This essentially works as a copy and paste function. If we unfold our windrower, our work width can be properly adjusted. We can click on work width and COURSEPLAY will adjust it to the attached tool. Now click on the green copy paste button on the COURSEPLAY HUD. By clicking this, it's copied the course that the mower was originally set on. You can see the highlighted waypoints on the field there, but it is now the course that our tractor will be following as well. COURSEPLAY will make the appropriate adjustment based on the work width. Now, there is no need to go back through all of the setup for each vehicle, having to create their own courses. This tractor is also going to start in the center of the field, because that is what the original course was set up as. Let's quickly set up the final tractor. You can see on the CP HUD here that we haven't cancelled the course and the copy-paste button is still highlighted green. So, let's do the exact same thing as we did for the windrower. Hook up, set up our work width and copy the course over. And once again, we have the course copied for our final tractor. And you can see the waypoints on the field. Why does this work? Well, the windrower is going to follow the center line of those waypoints. The waypoints will always go over the center of the tractor until you start adding more vehicles to the course. We will show you this in a second. Since the windrower will follow these lines, as will our baler, the swath should be nice and centered and easy pickup. Now, the reason we have started off the course in the center is this. When we start baling, if we were to do our headlands first, the tractor will surely run into all the bales along the field perimeter. The same reason for skipping a row, just sets up your worker for the best possible chance of completing the task without any oopsie daisies. Our mower is starting on the headlands, so let's speed things up so we can get into the windrowing. And just as we did with the mower, let's set up our worker for success. Go through all the settings for the vehicle and let them fly. Let's move our mower. Now, COURSEPLAY is fantastic, but it is not perfect. There will be parts of the field that are missed, and you may have to do some touch-ups here and there. Overall, this mod is a wonderful tool to help optimize your farming gameplay. You can see there that the windrower is following that course nicely, preparing a swath for our baler. Do your best to space out your workers to avoid collisions. But really, this all comes down to feel. You'll get the hang of it the more you do it. Consistency is key. And just like before, rinse and repeat for this tractor as well. Go through your settings and be sure, especially for a tool like a baler, you want to make sure Pathfinder settings are activated. Just in case your tractor comes face to face with a bale in the field, for example. Let's let this windrower pass us. And just like that, away we go, again. Look at this dance of machinery. Work as a cohesive unit. Not bad for only setting up a single course. Do you think you could do this? If not, please skip back and re-watch whatever you need to, or leave a comment below if you have any questions. Now, this is why we set it up as skipping a row and starting at the center. Once the course has been copied, you can't change it, so be sure your course is set up properly from the get-go. Now, while our workers finish up this grass, let's pop over and try something else. We are going to step it up a notch and harvest some cotton. Just as before, let's set up our original course. You will see on your mini-map that it will zoom when the vehicle is on the field. We want to ensure we do not copy the same course as the grass field, so let's go ahead and delete that copy by clicking the circle with a slash through it. Let's make sure our work width is set, and again set up the course. Now here is where multiple tools tab comes into play. We have 4 of the same vehicles, and we want to set up one course for all of them at the same time. We are going to select one headland, but be careful here. The number of headlands that you select will be multiplied by the number of tools you have on the course. So since selecting one headland, each harvester will do one headland, which equals 4 headlands total. Let's keep the options as they are and hit Generate Fieldwork. Now what you will see here is that we have 4 harvesters. And since we have those 4 harvesters on the same course, you will see here on the CP HUD that we have left 1, left 2, right 1 and right 2. These essentially split up the course into 4 lanes. The waypoints for the highlighted course are always the center line between the 2 sides of your course. If you have an odd number of tools working on the course, one of those vehicles will be labeled as center and will ride the waypoint path. Let's start our first harvester on left 1. It really doesn't matter a whole lot where you start. We do not have to copy anything in this case, because we have all 4 of our harvesters already set in the course. COURSEPLAY knows we want 4 tools working on this field. Once again, this is a rinse and repeat for each of the harvesters. One final note, make sure you do not start your workers off too quickly in concession. This will help them avoid running into one another or blocking each other. Now you can see our grass field has been all baled up. Our tractor started baling in the center and then completed the headlands and did not run into any bales in the field. If you have enjoyed today's episode, do all the YouTubey things, like subscribe and flick that ding-dong. We do greatly appreciate it. Please be sure to jump back to our first episode to get caught up and be ready for episode 3. We will get into harvesting and combine work and learning how to save courses in folders. Until next time, good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night. Basil, signing off with another episode of Mastering COURSEPLAY.
On behalf of the flight crew, thank you for flying with us and have a pleasant stay.